Hello students, how are you? Hope your student studies are going well. Yes, and the exams are also coming. Yes. So the next topic of this rapid revision route is counts and records. This is a very small topic, counts and records, and also having a less weightage of marks. So let's start with the topic rapid revision route, accounts and records. So counts and records covers the section number 35. Covers the section number 35. Section 35 says that every registered person shall keep and maintain books of accounts at his principal place of business, additional place of business, or found at any other premises. That accounts and records will be considered of that registered person if found at any place of business. Now, section 35, registered person should maintain the books of accounts. What should be the content of that books of account? He should maintain a true and correct accounts of the following: production or manufacture of goods, inward outward supply of goods or services both, stock of goods, input tax credit availed, output tax credit payable or paid, such other particular as may be prescribed. These are the basic details that we should keep in our accounts and records. Now again, how should we keep the records? Either it should be manually maintained or maintained in electronic form. First, records maintained manually. How you can going to maintain the manually? Manually, you have the register. You will put the ledgers and accounts, all the things, and every entry, record of every entry you are going to put manually, write manually. This is the manual format. If you are keeping or maintaining the records in manual format, each volume of books of account maintained manually by the registered shall be serially numbered. It should be serially numbered and kept in a proper form. Yes, in a proper format. Yes. Either you can record in electronic form, where 99% of the people in today era are keeping the records in electronic form, say by way of Tally, Pysker, or any ERP softwares. Yes. Now, books of account include any electronic form of data stored on any electronic device. It may be any device, any electronic form. Records in electronic form be authenticated by digital signature. Yes, nowadays this is also important that any record you kept in the electronic form, it should be approved or authenticated by digital signature. Proper electronic backup of every record shall be maintained and preserved. Every record's backup should be there. Such records need to be produced on demand in hard copy in electronically readable format. If in any inquiries they demand you any records you have kept or backup, that should be presented before the authority on demand in any hard copy, or electronically if you gave, it should be in a readable format, just like any image or PDF like this. Details of files, their password, explanation for the codes, and any information required for the access. If your PDF is password protected, the password should also be given. Any code is there, that code should be given to the authority if they require any document. No entry should be erased or overwritten. If records are maintained electronically, no record should be overwritten or erased. If any incorrect entries are there other than those of clerical nature, be scored out under attestation, and thereafter correct entry may be recorded. See, if any entry is wrongly entered in the records and you are going to amend that entry, incorrect entry, you are going to correct that entry, so that too should be done with a proper attestation, and every record of that entry should be there, that earlier this entry was passed like this and we are correcting this entry like this way. So every record should be there. In case electronic records being maintained, a log of every entry edited deleted shall be maintained. In case any records being maintained, if you are maintaining the electronically records of any books of accounts, any accounts and records, there should be a proper evidence of every entry edited or deleted. If you are editing any entry, you have to keep the proper records. If you are deleting any entry, you have to keep the proper records of each and every entry edited or deleted. Books of accounts are required to be produced on demand. Any time if a notice is received that this types of particulars we want to see, that particulars in an electronic form or hard copy should be given to the proper authority on requirement. Now this is all about the books of account, that we should maintain the books of account, what is the requirement of books of account, and how books of account should be maintained. What if we do not maintain the books of account? If we do not maintain the books of account, or a particular registered person fails to account for the goods or services in accordance with the provision section 35, the proper officer shall determine the amount of tax payable on such goods or services or both that are not accounted for, and the provisions of section 73, 74, as the case may be, shall mutatis mutandis apply for the determination of such tax. The process of demand and recovery will apply, and now the proper officer is going to calculate the amount of tax to be paid on such in goods and services which are not recorded in the books of accounts. So these are the provisions with the books of accounts and records. Now, there are some additional records to be maintained by some specified person. See, normally the books of accounts should give this particulars, but there are some extra books of accounts or records to be maintained by some specified person. Some extra records by some extraordinary persons, specified person. Number one, registered person. For the case of registered person, the goods or services imported, exported, supplies attracting payment of tax on reverse charge along with reward documents including invoice, bill of supply, delivery challan, credit note, debit note, receipt voucher, payment voucher, refund voucher. These are all the invoices in the invoice chapter. All the invoices should be kept. Yes, all the invoices should be kept. If you are paying tax under reverse charge, all documents of reverse charge should be there in the record. Separate accounts of advances received, paid, adjustment made thereto. If you have received any advance amount for the supply of goods or services, you should have to make a proper record of that advances. How you received the advance and how you adjusted the advance or you refunded the advance, everything. Particulars of name, complete address of the supplier from whom he has received or to whom he has supplied. The supplier details and the recipient details should be there in the records. And complete particulars of the complete address of the premises where the goods are stored. Where the goods are stored. The warehouse, everywhere the goods are stored, here should be complete address and the proper particular records of that place should be there. All these things should be present for registered person. Now what if is an agent? Extra records to be recorded to be preserved by a agent. See, if there is an agent, particular of authorization received by him from each principal to receive such goods supply of goods or services on behalf of the principal. See, if he is an agent, some authorization has been given by the principal regarding the supply of goods or services or procurement of goods or services. So that authorization received from the principal should be a record for the agent. Particular description of the value quantity of the goods received or supplied on behalf of that principal. What goods, amount of goods, quantity of goods, quality of goods, everything related with the goods, every description should be there. Details of accounts furnished to every principal. Say any account statement given by the agent to the principal, that record should also be present with the agent. Tax paid or receipt supply of goods affected on behalf of every principal. Either the tax paid by the agent on behalf of principal for the supply or procurement of these goods or services, that should also be maintained as a record by the agent. Now, next, service provider. Service provider shall, every registered person supplying services has to additionally maintain the account showing quantitative details of goods used in the provision of service. When you are providing service, it is sure that you are going to make use of any goods. So what goods you are making use while providing this type of services, you have to maintain the record of that goods also. that you are using to maintain the supply of service. That record should be with the service provider. Custodian, clearing and forwarding agent. Custodian, clearing or forwarding agent. This terms are used while case of import export. Every person having custody over the goods in the capacity of the carrier or cleaning and forwarding agent for delivery dispatch thereof to a recipient on behalf of any registered person shall maintain true and correct records in respect of such goods handled by him on behalf of such registered person. The custodian, clearing and forwarding agent should maintain the record of the goods on which he is having a custody. He is having a custody. Owner or transporter of a warehouse, godown or transporter. Whether you are a transporter, you are a warehouse keeper, you are a godown keeper, the godown keeper should have a proper record of all the goods and services received coming in the godown, which are kept in the godown or with the transporter, etc. etc. In the warehouse, what is coming in the warehouse, going out of the warehouse, issue and receipt, everything related with the quantity, the damage, etc. etc. All the particulars of the stock present in the warehouse and the godown or with the transporter should be the records which are kept with this particular person. Next, person executing works contract. Now, works contract. Under the works contract, all the particulars of the names, addresses of the person on which behalf the works contract is executed, whose works contract we are handling, the particular of that person, also the description of the value quantity of the goods which are involved while performing this works contract. Yes, details of payment of received by the supplier of the works contract. Yes, how much the payment the works contract contractor has received in the installment. Each installment should be properly described as a records. Name and address of the supplier from whom he received. Also, if the contractor for making this supply works contract has received any type of services from any particular person, that details also should be mentioned as a records. And the manufacturer should maintain each and every record of any procurement, work in progress, finished goods, etc. etc. monthly of the data and records of the monthly production he should maintain as a record. So this is all about the extra records that should be maintained by specific person. And now the last thing, how much, what should be the period of maintenance or books of record. Every registered person required to keep and maintain books of account or other records in accordance with the provision of section 35 and shall retain them until the expiry of 72 months. Until the expiry of 72 months from the date of finishing of annual return of the particular year. So from the date of furnishing of annual return of that period, from that period to 72 months you have to compulsory maintain all the records and the books. So this is all about accounts and records. Okay, so we have done a proper revision of the topics account and records. Now the next video in the next topic in the next video. For that you should subscribe our channel so that we can notify you the next video. Till that, bye bye to all of you. Hello students, I am here with the announcement of our upcoming regular batches of CA Intermediate Taxation from 21st of September and CA Foundation all subjects batch from 25th of September at a shocking price. Yes, and these batches will be in 100% English language. For further details of the batch, demo videos and early bird discount, you can contact on the given number. Up till that, bye bye and meet you in our regular batches.